Cool, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and jump in today's session. Hopefully, can someone confirm that you can see my screen? Does it show the deck? Does it show the deck? Anyone in the chat? Just want to confirm. Yes. Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate it. Welcome to today's session. We're going to be talking about Yelp, how you can take advantage of this platform. If you've been part of these trainings before, you hear me talk about your digital ecosystem and how each of these platforms or profiles is another location for you to get seen, leverage the SEO behind all of these platforms since they have millions and millions of visitors every single month. And they allow you to have a free profile to potentially, meet your next prospect or client in your specific market. So your Yelp profile is going to be very similar to a Google business profile. I say that, but they're very different at the same time. But the concept, the underlying concept is the same. It's another profile that through a search, you can be visible based on what that person is searching for. So Yelp is extremely local based, just like your Google business profile is. However, the search intent and some of the key factors behind that are very different. So we're going to dive into what those are. We just have a couple of slides, and then I'm going to dive into the browser, and we're going to take a look at some of the other, I talked about earlier, some of the upgrades or additional things, some of the content guidelines for Yelp, and some of the other things. I got a bunch of tabs open so to give you guys a little bit more of a visual so you can go through. And we'll go through and actually set up the initial process for that. It seems like the verification process for Yelp can be easier. I'm doing air quotes, guys. Use that word loosely. Seems like it can be easier in terms of not requiring a video to verify you, but it is more of a manual process on Yelp's end where they actually have folks going in and reviewing before they approve that, as opposed to Google's massive tech background. And as you probably have experienced yourself, trying to get, the verification through the video or, other, methods that they have, the text, all that kind of stuff, can be difficult, especially when there's a lack of help on Google's end, right? Support trying to contact them. They're just $1 trillion company, but you can't call anybody. It's great. So we're going to go through that, and then we'll dive into the demo and some of the other things for it. So let's go ahead and get started. So a couple things we're going to cover today, of course, how, Yelp can be a powerful lead generator for both buyers and sellers. Yelp is very local based. Maybe you yourself as a consumer have downloaded the app and used it to find restaurants, other service type businesses, dry cleaners, accountants, whatever it may be, cleaning companies, construction, any of those types of things. Maybe you yourself have used the app. You, as a real estate professional, can have your own profile as well. And what's great about it is folks are actually going in and entering in real estate agent in Gilbert, real estate agent in San Diego, real estate agent in Las Vegas, wherever it may be. And you have an opportunity to show up there. Now, although there are a lot of agents on Yelp, there's still not as many in terms of, some of the other profiles and all that good stuff. And not only that, a lot of folks aren't optimizing it in a way that it should be, or even, it may be worth upgrading for the paid add-ons that it has in there so that you can show up higher. Again, the cost compared to what it is to be sponsored on Google, whether it's pay-per-click or you're getting a sponsored Google business profile, still, a huge difference in that cost. Of course, I have a little chart similar to last week for the Facebook pages and groups to show you the differences between Yelp profiles and the Google business profile. And then we're going to dive a little bit deeper into advertising and the upgrade benefits. What are the upgrades? You can buy them a la carte or you can bundle them together, which I'd recommend because it's way cheaper to do it that way. And I'll talk about the key features that you can do to upgrade. I mean, it's kind of basic things like if you want to display your logo, that's an upgrade. So as you can see, it's a little bit different than a Google business profile where you set up a Google business profile and you can upload your logo. You can upload, as many photos as you want. You can do posts. Now, if you want to make posts on your Yelp profile, that's an additional charge. So, but again, the bundle altogether is like $6. I think it's a day on there. So it does add up on there. But the features can be very powerful so that you can rank higher than the others that are on there. And then, of course, we're going to jump into a demo. I'll show you how to go in and set up your profile. Again, the process is somewhat very similar to that Google business profile, but there are some key differences that we're going to talk about. So why Yelp matters for you as a real estate agent for your business? Well, Yelp has about 178 million unique visitors per month. Now that's taking account, that's split between the mobile app and the desktop version and a couple of other spots, but understand that about 78 million of those visitors are done via the mobile. So it does have a mobile app for you as well. If you go to create a profile, you can download specifically, it is Yelp Biz, Yelp B-I-Z. And when you sign up for your profile on your laptop or desktop, it's going to send you a link to your phone to download the app directly, but you can manage it directly from the app. And I know it's going to be very difficult to see, but it's right there in that corner. And for Google's, you just have Google Maps. That's how you can edit it on the mobile, upload photos, all that kind of stuff. So Yelp has their own app for business profiles. And again, you can go and download that. About 90% of Yelp users make a purchase or hire one of those services within a week after visiting that platform or doing that search. So as you can see, the intent is very strong for Yelp consumers, meaning that if somebody goes to Google, like we all do, there's intent behind it, right? Because we're searching for something specific, but it's not necessarily a service, right? It could be anything, you know, how to do this or how to do that or sewing or whatever it may be, right? Fix a car, or just looking up anything on there. But Yelp is very specific in their app and platform because they are all about local services and local businesses. That is the big thing. Local, local, local. And again, Google business profiles are, specifically on Google Maps is very focused on local, but they have other searches, of course, that go with that, right? They have billions of searches a day compared to 178 million a month on this. But the intent is slightly different, especially at the localized level. Yelp ranks highly in search engine results. So when somebody Googles, and I have a tab open to show you guys when we get to the demo part, when someone Googles, real estate agent in Gilbert, real estate agent in San Diego, Yelp is typically on the first page, about halfway down at least, if not higher, on there. And it usually says something like 10 real estate agents in whatever market that you just searched in there. So Yelp, again, for your profile, for you to leverage the SEO power that this platform has with Google, highly recommend that you do add this profile into your mixture of locations in your digital world that you are promoting your business, because it is very, very strong with SEO. And as I state here, your profile can show up even if users are not searching on Yelp. Okay. So when someone does a Google search and it still is populating Yelp results, that is a good thing for you. So, and then of course, trust and credibility. Yelp is very, known for their reviews and going to find local services. One thing about their reviews that are very interesting is they recommend reviews. So you can go and request reviews, which they actually do not encourage. They want it to happen organically from the customer. Not that you can't, but understand that Yelp has specific software at their disposal that is going through and recommending certain reviews. So if the review looks like, you paid them to do the review, or they didn't actually use your service, or anything like that, it can, not show. That you do have that possibility of it not actually showing. As opposed to your Google business profile, um, it's pretty much going to show all of them. Now, there are instances, and I have agents reach out to me quite often on this, a review's not showing up, or specifically the number count isn't showing up, right? You count your reviews and you have 20 reviews, but it's only showing 15 still, right? You just have to message Google, they go in and the number actually gets updated, but 99.9% of the time that review is going to show up. The other thing is with Yelp reviews, um, there is virtually no way of getting that review removed. Now, you're probably thinking, yeah, that's the same case for Google. Yes and no. Majority of the time, yeah, it's going to be very difficult to get that review removed, but you can still petition and appeal to have a review removed. Maybe it's not relevant to your business, or it's bullying, or whatever it is. And if you guys ever get one of those reviews that, you want to try to get removed, I have successfully, over the last few weeks, have gotten a handful of reviews removed for clients, because they were irrelevant. They didn't do it at an actual transaction with the agent. It's all about the messaging and how you position it to Google, I have found, to actually get that removed. So it is possible. I'm not saying it's, a bulletproof, but it is possible. And the other one is lead generation. So of course, with all of these platforms, you have the opportunity to, meet new prospects and clients through this platform. You can pay for advertising. Like I was saying earlier, it is relatively inexpensive compared to some of the others on there. It's like 13 bucks a day. In that, I believe they drove, we're looking at what it says, it was like 40 to 50 leads a month for that, or contact. So don't quote me on that. We'll take a look at when we jump into it, but quite a few for what that cost was. And again, their reputation is huge. Consumers trust them very, very well with how they built the platform. Here's the Yelp versus Google business profile, some of the key differences. So, your user intent, buyers are searching for those local services. They're specifically going on the Yelp app to look for a service, because that is what it is. Now, when somebody goes to Google, it could be they're looking for a service, or it could be they're looking for new clothes, or they're looking for lamps or furniture, or a school to go to, or whatever it may be on there. So it's a little bit more broad when they go and search for Google. Now, if they're searching through the Google Maps app, it's a little bit different. That's going to be even more hyper localized. Okay, so the Google Maps search is going to be much more similar to a Yelp profile or search because of the intent. It's very focused on the local. When someone just does a Google search, that's a lot more broad. Now, traffic differences, like we were talking about earlier, Yelp is about 178 million monthly users, unique visits, right? A month, and Google gets about 1 billion daily searches. So very different. But again, the search intent is very different as well, depending on which platform that they're using. Like I was saying about reviews, can't be removed, but you can respond to reviews on Yelp just like you can on your Google business profile. So you do have that. But virtually, from what I have seen, is not going to get removed. So not going to happen there. And then your Google business profile, again, there's that slight chance you may be able to, if you submit that appeal. It's all in the messaging, guys. So if you do have a bad review, now if they actually did a transaction with you and they put a bad review, it's very tough. But in some of the other instances, we've been able to get those removed. Visibility, like I said, Yelp ranks very well, whether they're doing a Google search or they're searching, directly in the Yelp platform or mobile app. It ranks very well. They still show Yelp searches, or Yelp profiles can still show in Google searches. And of course, Google, as we know, they're the #1 search engine in the world. They pretty much own that market, especially in maps. So you can still appear in those Google searches and maps. Advertising, you have Yelp ads. We'll dive into that when we jump into the actual platform, show you what that looks like, where you can go to actually take advantage of that. And then, of course, you can pay to have your Google business profile show in the top pack or the top three or so. And then of course you can pay for or do pay-per-click PPC leads through Google as well. Much more expensive, still very good quality leads. It's just much more expensive. SEO, highly rated SEO. The platform gets so much traffic that Yelp is it's similar to LinkedIn, guys. If you're not leveraging LinkedIn, man, the amount of SEO that they have is phenomenal. So similar to Yelp with how they have it set up. And then, like I said, Google's #1 search engine. Do we know #2? YouTube. So who owns YouTube? Google. Google owns quite a bit of the internet market in that. So, and then verification process. I mentioned this a little bit at the beginning, but it's a little bit more manual and it's fairly easy for that verification process. Now, when we create the profile, it's going to say, shortly. It's going to use the word shortly. Shortly is like 24 to 48 hours, probably. Could be less if the information you put in can be verified fairly quickly, or depending on their workload in their pipeline, because understand Yelp verification processes are more manual than Google's automation on there. So someone's actually going in and taking a look at that to get it approved. Google can be a longer process. It's really kind of a 50-50 of what I've seen over the last several months, meaning that when you set up a new Google business profile, it may ask you to do a video. It may just automatically verify you because the website address you put in and the phone number is everywhere on the internet, and they can verify that, yes, that is truly you and your business. And if they can't necessarily verify you in that way, then it's a little bit longer process where they want you to do that video, about 30 seconds or less for that video. Hannah said, I try to verify my Google business, but it always rejects my video. 30 seconds or less. I'd keep it under 30 seconds. If you're in an office, even though you're not putting necessarily a business location, you're doing service areas, being inside your real estate office can help. But what I have found to be the biggest piece that is getting them approved with that video is showing your license certificate or license number through, in Arizona, it's through AZRE or ADRE. Las Vegas, it's going to be with the department. Whatever your department of real estate is, I would pull it up on the website and show your name, your certificate, showing your license, who you're licensed with, that it's active. And I have found that has, been approved quite quickly. But Hannah, I don't know how long the video is, but definitely less than 30 seconds on that one. Let's talk about some of the Yelp consumer behavior. So especially for real estate searches, 82% of people using Yelp are looking for a service provider, right? The majority, that is the main value of their platform. They're looking for that service provider. 48% of Yelp users visit a business or reach out within 24 hours of searching. 48%. Okay, so there is strong intention. Folks are going to use that app because they have something, they need something done, right? They need to talk to somebody. They need to reach out to a real estate agent or whatever service it is, but it's very strong on the intent. And of course, many consumers trust Yelp ratings over generic search engine results. Now, what I mean by generic search engine results is even if they're going to Google, again, Yelp can be very strict with their reviews and recommendations. So it is up to them on what they want to show. There's not any telling them, I want this to show, or hey, I've gotten 10 reviews and you're only showing 5 of them. That's how it's going to be with them because they are doing it based on what they recommend and what they feel is an authentic review. And then, of course, the real estate agent near me is a highly ranked Yelp search. There's a lot of potential for buyers and sellers looking for top agents or just agents in general on that platform. So real estate agent near me is a top search that is happening on the Yelp platform, whether it's the desktop or the mobile. So again, a lot of key differences between the two is, and similarities at the same time, but Yelp is extremely intent driven. The consumer's going there and doing a search because they've already made up in their mind they need to talk to somebody about whatever it is they need to talk about. Google and Google Business Profiles, still very similar, but it's more broad. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. Okay. Google, again, you're going there to search for a lot of different things on there, but Yelp is very, very specific for those local service searches. Why you need a strong Yelp presence? Again, guys, this is very similar to just why you need a strong online presence, right? Consumers go online, they're searching, even if you're getting referrals, coming in, they're looking you up online. So Yelp is another location that they may be able to, find you on there. Google Business Profiles, another location, your Facebook, your website, tons of different out there, Instagram, Realtor.com, Zillow, right? Those are all different profiles and locations that you yourself can take advantage of. They're free. Majority are free. Yes, there's paid add-ons, but they're free, and it's an opportunity for you to leverage the SEO so that you can, take advantage of that quote unquote billboard that they're advertising for you. Again, Yelp profiles dominate the local search, even when you're outside of the Yelp app. So if they're still doing that Google search, it's still, possibility of ranking. Having a complete optimized profile, of course, with photos, details, reviews will always increase reviews no matter what platform you're on. It's just very, very important that you guys are going through and not just setting it up and optimizing it the one time, but going back monthly, quarterly, however you need to put it on your schedule to make sure that you're active on them. Maybe you got new headshots, maybe website change, phone number, maybe you need to add or tweak your business description, whatever it may be, but you've got to have a regular schedule of auditing your online presence, and that includes all of these different platforms. There's still a lot of agents that are not leveraging Yelp, even the free version of Yelp, to stand out and to take advantage of that. So if you start leveraging this platform, you have a possibility of outranking other agents because they're just not using it, right? They're not on the platform yet. And of course, social proof sales, we already know, reviews, we're a review-driven society. So those recommendation reviews are super, super important. Yelp is very strong with their reviews. Again, they're going to show what they want to recommend. They're going to show reviews based on what they is part of their algorithm and what they see as authentic. All right, let me close out of this real quick. We can jump into some of these different tabs that I have shown up here. Real quick, I just want to show you guys this Google search that I pulled up. I just did real estate agent in Gilbert. Of course, you have your Google screened, right? This is additional. You got to go through a whole approval process, and it costs money to do that. You see where it says sponsored, and then you go down, and then you have another, sponsored site that has some of those on there. But if you continue scrolling down, it's a little bit further down, but now you have this Yelp, the best 10 real estate agents in Gilbert. So when you click on that, of course, it's going to show you sponsored ones first. So again, I would probably recommend, paying the money to be sponsored, at least in the beginning, to get some traction. And then you can assess it and see if it's worth, part of your marketing expenses, but can come through here. The other thing that's not extremely clear on Yelp is it says sponsored results, but it's like, when does it end then? And then here you have all, but then we go back into sponsored. If I keep scrolling, no, it doesn't show it on this one, but it had some other sponsored on there. So quite a few sponsored at the top, the agents that are taking advantage of this, paying. Otherwise, the others are going to show down here. But notice that some of these that are showing down here are also getting shown up here in the sponsored spot. As opposed that, going back to Google, it very clearly says on each one sponsored, right? When you do a Google search, it's going to clearly say which ones that are sponsored, which ones are not. So let me do one in San Diego just to see where Yelp shows up here. Of course, we have our Google results. Keep going down a little bit higher. Okay, so there might be, maybe they have a little bit more traction, more transactions, maybe more profiles, whatever it may be. So depends. Google your market and see where Yelp lands for you guys. and you can go in and see what that looks like. So again, you can scroll down and see where that is. If I click on this, and then you can kind of see what agents are showing up even, right? Take a look at competition. Take a look at their uh, uh, profiles. How are they have it displayed? Why are they showing up higher? Especially the organic ones, right? So of course the top ones are going to be more that sponsored. And then if you keep going down, you finally get to some of those organic results in there. But again, they're not super clear. It doesn't say on every single profile that's sponsored that they're sponsored in there. Charlotte, what is the cost to show up as sponsored? Is it a monthly cost? Yes. So on Yelp to be sponsored, it is a monthly cost. It's about 13, I think it's $13 a day, they said. We'll take a look at when we dive into the account, and I'll show you guys directly what that looks like in there. So, but it is a cost for that sponsored. But I just wanted to show you guys, Google your market, real estate agent in your market, and see where Yelp lands on that, and understand that you're not ranking just within Yelp.com or that platform or mobile app, but you're also showing up when people are doing a Google search, or you have the potential to show up if folks are doing that Google search. This is Yelp.com. Of course, this is where the majority of consumers go to sign in, log in, or sign up. But for you as a business, as a real estate agent, you're going to be under Yelp for Business. You can learn some more information. But if you haven't set up a profile yet, you just click Add a Business in there. So I'm going to go through this process real quick. And actually, let me log out of this one so I can show you guys the full beginning. All right. See if there's anything on here I wanted to show you guys. Not on this one. Okay, so when you first come to Yelp, let me go back there, right? I want to show you guys from the very beginning. Yelp.com, Yelp for Business, click on that and then click Add a Business. And then you're going to type in your business name. It's going to try to search for you to see if you already have a profile. So I'm going to do a team. I have to do this anyways. Team city. Okay. Nothing else pops up. This is just a plus to add the business because it didn't find any others. So I'm going to click that. And then now it's going to ask for your business email address. Okay. So you're going to put in your email that is part of that. Whoops, 65. Continue. Business phone number. Just going to use that. This is where you can check this box, text me a link to download the mobile app. What that means is the actual business app. So, it's going to be where you can go and add photos, videos, edit your profile, communicate, all that stuff. It's different than the standard consumer-focused Yelp app, okay? So you can always text yourself that. I'm not going to do that because I already have it downloaded. So I'm going to click continue. We found similar business. It's doing that because this is tied to my phone number. So I'm going to say, nope, not my business. So it doesn't continue to add that on there. It's going to ask for your website. Again, guys, very similar to the process of setting up a Google business profile. It's going to ask you the similar questions on there. You can skip it, but I recommend go ahead and adding them now. Business categories. So there's really two on here, kind of like Google, that you can do. Of course, real estate agent, right? It says real estate as a category, subcategories, real estate agents. You can add another one. So if I do real estate again, the only other one that really comes up is going to be services. Okay. Not real estate law. You don't really want to put any of that. You're not an agency or a brokerage. Once you add those in there, you're going to click continue. And then it's going to, what is your business address? So here's the thing with this. Again, you're going to have the ability to add service areas. They limit you to 6. Okay, they limit you to 6, but you can add in your actual address, business address, your brokerage address, if they allow it in there. I'm going to do Tennessee. Gosh, zip code. Let me see. Realty One, go to Music City. Gonna copy that. Put the zip in there. Now I can say hide my full address on Yelp. I'm going to choose to do that because I want to focus more on those service areas. That's what I want to be shown. And you're going to select one of these, right? Again, you're going to do 1 to 9 because you don't really have a location. Your location is with the different areas that you're going to serve or that you practice real estate in. I'm going to click continue. Now you can create your account. So it's going to ask for your information. I will put in password. Okay, I'm going to click continue. It's working on creating that business page. It's going to ask for that code. I'm going to pull that up on my phone real quick. Okay, now it's verifying the email. Give it a second to go through this. There we go. 2906, 2906. Beautiful. Okay, so here we go with the starts to, very similar to Google, right? It tells you, oh, you have $500 credit in ad spend. Cool. Well, you have to spend $500 to get that additional 500, especially on Google. This way, they're just advertising that it's a $500 value, and you get a free trial with the ads. So this is the standard Yelp profile. So get found by people searching for local businesses, keep your info up to date. Of course, you can just edit your info, respond to reviews and messages. But then, it starts talking about getting more visibility, calls. You get to add some more visuals. You get to display your verified license as a real estate agent. And then also the other big thing is no competitor ads are going to be shown on your page. Okay, so if you continue to do the free version, there's a potential that other real estate agent profiles can be advertised on your page itself as other options. So again, they give you a 30-day free trial, so not bad. I would try it. Again, you could click, details here. So it's $13 a day, typically on average, on there. And from that, you get about 76 monthly ad clicks. That's pretty good. Even if you do, 13 times 30, that's pretty good on there. And that also includes the upgrade package, which I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. And then also the verified license. So it literally will show you go on and you submit your real estate license and they verify your license. So you're all legit and you get that additional badge on your profile. So again, you could take advantage of that or decline offer. I'm declining for today's purpose. Now it's going to ask you for business hours. Guys, please do not put 24/7. Please don't. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Don't set yourself up for that. And the other thing is you're truly not a 24/7 business. I mean, yes, do we feel like we work 24/7? Absolutely. But a lot of times these platforms, and I've seen this in Google recently, is if you're actually not available 24/7 at 2 a.m. or whenever it may be, highly recommend that you put actual hours. So when we do our client profiles, Google business profiles, or anything that asks for hours of operation, I usually default to just 8 to 6. It's a good range every day. So I'm just going to go through and do this really quick so we can go on to the next screen. So you're going to put in your hours. I know there's a couple. I'm going to look over to the right here in a second to look at some of those questions. Thursday, 8 a.m. Gosh, I wish there was a button that you could just select the same for every day. 6. All right, let me take a look at this real quick. See, what do you type as your business name as an agent versus a broker? So you can put, if you're a broker, like you have a broker license or that you're a brokerage. I believe you're saying if you have a broker's license. So if that's the case, you could put, Charlotte Carrier, real estate broker at ABC Broker. The platform itself, especially for Yelp, already knows that you're a real estate agent based on the service that you opted in at. The biggest thing too, guys, is whichever market you're in, because they're a little bit different, you want to make sure that you are compliant. So whatever is required to disclose and display in your advertising, you want to make sure is aligned with how you're doing your naming conventions. So if you have to, have your license number and things, you have a spot on here in your business description that you can add your license number, and I'll show you that when we get to it. But you want to make sure that you add that info in there so that you are compliant. All right, we got one more. Thankfully, one more on here. 8 p.m. Come on, or 8 a.m. Beautiful. Okay, save and continue. Add your categories. Okay, this is where you, again, similar to Google, but a little bit more limited on what's available. So we chose our services, and then we got to choose we chose our categories, and then we got to choose our services. So for real estate agents, we have this that we can choose from. And then for real estate services, they're slightly different in terms of, different things that you can do. You can always add another category, but again, these two are going to be really the only ones relevant for what we're doing. So I'm going to do buyer evaluation, buyer agent services, listing marketing services, maybe contract writing, since we can, at least in Arizona, write contracts. Negotiation, maybe offer review, open house. Maybe you do rental services, property showings, of course. You do offer property searches, seller agent services, maybe that. Maybe even virtual consultations, right? You got people relocating. Down here for real estate services, it's a little bit different. If you do, let's take a look here. Investor, maybe work with some investors, consulting services. Relocation is down here. That'd be a good one. Virtual consultations already checked because we added it up at the top on there. So purchase agreement preparation, any of those that are relevant to you guys. Now, if you do commercial, of course, you want to select those in there. So maybe you put in commercial as a category if that's something that you do. But you want to select those and then click save and continue. This is your business description. Okay, so you get up to 1,500 characters. You can take a look at their, whoops. Well, there was a link there for me to click on, and it would open up content guidelines. Just make sure that you're not putting phone numbers, links, or anything in the description, because it will be removed and you will be flagged. And that is the same for your Google business profiles. Do not put phone numbers, links, web addresses, anything like that in your business descriptions, because it will come up as a violation. One of the top ones. So you want to paste in your business description here. So you could do ChatGPT, or you could paste yours in there. I am going to copy what I had here just for today's purpose. On here, let me go home. Why is it not pulling that up? And maybe because it's not verified yet, it's not showing. Maybe I'm just overlooking it. Yeah, I don't think it's showing up because it's not approved. But anyways, so you're going to paste in, you get 1,500 characters. If you need to specify, remember, leverage geographic locations. Where do you serve? Leverage those keywords, guys. Where do you serve? All the different markets. Even if I'm going to use Phoenix for an example. You serve, Phoenix. Well, what about Scottsdale, Fountain Hills, Gilbert, Chandler, Tempe, right? San Diego. What are all the different areas within there? Las Vegas, Henderson, Summerlin, all those. Use those keywords. Who do you help? Who do you help? First-time home buyers. Maybe you're veteran focused. Maybe you're, talk about working with homeowners, buyers, investors. Use those keywords in there. And then what types of products do you sell? Single-family homes, homes on a golf course, luxury, condos, high rises, beachfront property, whatever it may be, right? Add those into your business descriptions. This is great because it gives you a lot more than what Google gives you. You get 1,500 characters in there. So you just want to add in the description here. I'm just doing that for this purpose. I'm going to do save and continue. And it's going to ask you for business address. So this is where you can choose those specific service areas in here. So if you scroll down under service area here, you can add in up to 6. So I'm going to do Franklin. Again, I'm doing one for Tennessee. So Franklin, you're going to add your service areas. Nashville. What are some others in there that I can? Spring Hill. Right? We have 3 left here. You see how it's kind of giving your parameters of where you can sell. Let's go to, I got 2 left. Just typing in Eagleville, and we'll do Fairview for the last one. Okay. So again, different from Google, where you can virtually add quite a few service areas, pretty much unlimited. Although you don't want to do too many because then it starts to think you're too broad in going out there. But you only get 6 on Yelp. So you can come through here and add those in. Now, you can say hide my business address. You will not, so that they don't see that, or you can toggle that off. It just depends on, if you want that on or not. So of course, now that's toggled off. Let's see if it'll, yeah, now it's gonna want that. All right, let me go back to Group Music City. Copy the address. Add that. Probably think 1, 2, 3 is fake. All right. Save and continue. And now you can upload photos. So again, the benefit of Yelp is they have less, with Google, if you don't have, it's not the right pixels, size, anything. I mean, the smallest little thing on that image, they may not upload. I have found that on Yelp, it's fairly easy. So you're just gonna upload, whatever photos that you have, right? Listing photos, maybe photos with clients, local photos, areas that you're selling in, all those different things. But of course, deals that you have done and you own rights to those photos, you can come in and add those here. So I'm gonna come over here real quick and let me pull this out so I can show you guys when I actually upload them. I can find the folder. We're just going to do this. All right. So I'm going to come back here. Hopefully you guys can still see the screen now. Browse photos. I'm on the desktop. We're just going to upload. Using Mimi as an example. I want to deselect those. Whoops. Oh my goodness. Does that keep popping up? All right, we're going to select all. We're going to deselect those, open, and then bam. Okay. So you can come through here and delete and all that good stuff. Now, when we look at the upgrades, guys, notice I can't move these around or choose which one I want to show first. That's an upgrade. And I'll show you what that looks like. So save and continue. Add your phone number if you wanted to have the app. If you didn't already have it sent to you or text to you, I'm going to click continue, continue home. And now you are in your dashboard. Now you're gonna get this message up here. That's where it says, you're notified shortly when the status changes. It can take, 24 or so hours for that to actually happen. So this is what your dashboard looks like for your actual profile. Now, any images that you uploaded will show here. Your profile will not actually show until it gets approved, but you can go in and add more photos or delete anything that you wanted to delete. But again, you cannot change the order. That is an add-on for that in there. Let's talk about some of the different add-on or for the upgrade. Now, I'm just going to show you this guide that they did because I just want to talk about some of the features. So if you wanted to do the upgrade, which can be as low as that dollar a day. So if you do the bundle, I'm going to show you guys what that bundle looks like. But for the upgrade, you can have a call to action button on your actual profile leading to somewhere else, maybe a property valuation, your website, wherever you want them to go. It's going to remove those competitor ads. So if you just continue with your Yelp profile and somebody goes to yours and maybe you don't have as many reviews, or they see somebody else has a lot more reviews or something, they may click on it. Those competitor profiles will show. Okay. If you do the upgrade, those are removed. Photo slideshow just means that you get to um, choose what images are shown in which order in your profile up there at the top. Okay. Business highlights. That's part of the upgrade as well. You get to say, maybe you're a woman owned and operated. Maybe it's family owned, free estimates. Maybe you're doing a free property valuation, veteran owned, all those kinds of things. Yelp Connect allows you to put updates on your profile. So, like a Google business profile, you have the opportunity to do post updates on your Yelp, but it's an add on feature, it's a premium feature. Your logo is a premium feature. So if you wanted to have your logo next to your actual profile that's on here, see the little dollar sign? That's additional. Okay. Where did we go? Yep. Portfolio. Portfolio allows you to put together quote unquote different portfolios that you can have photos and even possibly videos in there. So this would be good for listings, right? So you have a listing, you can add it in there. Maybe it's 123's Main Street and you're adding in the 30 photos or whatever it is in there with some text and all that kind of stuff. You get to do an overview of that. So you can leverage this for your listings as well. This is where you can have that verified license. Okay, this is what it looks like, verified license. They confirm that your business or that you yourself have that real estate license, and they can see that information as well. The consumer can click to see that information in there. So again, these are all premium features that are, they come free with Google. You don't have to pay anything extra with those, but there is that additional cost, and it's going to make me log in to see the pricing. But I'll show you guys on my side what that looks like. But I want to show you guys. Here's an agent in Gilbert. This is her profile. She does pay for the premium features, right? She can have her photo or logo up there. She gets to choose the order of where those photos are going to be displayed. Videos, you get that call to action button on there. But if I scroll down, right, this is where verified license. I can click here and it states verified by Yelp on this date. So Yelp has a lot of manual processes on their end, as opposed to Google's automated stuff, right? So folks are actually back there reviewing this information. So very cool that you can have your verified license on there. Again, portfolio. So you get to see here she's posting just listed in Abitude, you just sold in Phoenix, right? You get to do a lot of those different post updates as well. In addition to those highlights, remember, so if you're veteran owned, woman owned, whatever it is, you get to choose even years in business. You get to say how long you've been in the business. You provide free consultation, certified professionals available by appointment. You get to add those additional features and icons that consumers get to search on their end. What services do you offer? Buyers and buyer's agent, listing agent, and then of course review highlights. Again, these you can get as many reviews as you want, but they're going to show ones based on what they want to show, and they deem authentic. You have your business hours here. Again, guys, please don't do 24 hours. I just don't recommend it. But you get to have your business description, right? This is where it's going to display. You can click read more. Of course, she has more in here. Specialties, history. You get to have all that displayed once your profile is approved. And then again, consumers get to ask questions similar to on your Google business profile. You get to respond to those. That's already included. That's not an additional thing for you. And on the right side, you get all your contact information. So your website, your phone number, if you have an office address or anything like that, you can have on there. And of course, all the reviews down at the bottom, and they show your response. But I wanted to show you guys what some of those premium features look like on an active profile, because again, a lot of these premium features are pretty standard in the sense that it's things that you want to probably promote and talk about and have on your profile. especially if you want to stand out on this platform. So if I come over here and I'm acting as a consumer and I am looking for real estate agents and I put the market, so let's do San Diego. I got to give my San Diego people some love. Um, okay, and it's going to show me the sponsored ones at the top. Notice because it's still showing, interesting that it's still showing that. Doesn't that look like the same person that was in Gilbert? Maybe she's licensed in both multiple states. TBD, to be determined. But notice that, some of these, if you are paying that premium, the verified license shows, as opposed to maybe some that don't, right? Or don't have some of those premium features. So let's click on this one and see what that looks like. Doesn't look well. She's paying for some of the features for sure. So again, guys, you can have some of these a la carte, or you can get the bundle together. And let's take a look at what that looks like. So if I'm in my profile, again, it takes a minute for them to actually go in and approve your profile. But on the left hand side, you're going to see Yelp ads and Yelp, page upgrades. Now, when you click on logo, remember that's a premium feature. So you could do that by itself. That's 30 bucks a month just by itself. So you can always click bundle and save and see what that looks like on there. Same with Yelp Connect. If you want to do those posts, you can come through here and see what that looks like. But, it's going to be that additional cost when you click on it. License verification. Going to come through here and it's going to give you that overview. And it's probably not, we're not eligible for that yet because it's not even approved. But I'm going to click on page upgrades, guys, on the left side. This is where you get to see those bundles on there. They're saying that businesses see an average of 50 more page visits, 14 days after setting it up. So a couple weeks after you actually set it up, it's going to remove those competitor ads, help you stand out, convert more of those page views in there. So remember, those competitor ads are going to show here. Okay, so when they're looking at your profile, it's going to show some of those competitor ads towards the top on there. So you can take advantage of the 14-day free trial if you wanted to get those removed. But what I would recommend, where I went and clicked on logo and then bundle and save, I guess it's taking the same spot. You're going to click get started with 14-day free trial, click continue, and it's just going to ask you about some more information for your business so that it can show certain badges and things like this on your profile and in the filters that folks can search on. So it's just going to take you through this process here. Let me go back over here. I can feel myself starting to lose my voice today. If I come over, where was it? Yelp ads here at the top. So this is where you can go through. Again, you can try this for free for 30 days, which is pretty phenomenal. I don't see Meta doing that, Google doing that, but you can try it free for 30 days, which is pretty awesome. You can do up to a 15-mile radius wherever that you wanted that to be at, and you can go through and, do you want to, optimize? Do you want Yelp to take it upon themselves to determine where you're going to be best seen, where you're going to get the most traffic, or do you want more phone calls? Or do you want more website clicks? And what URL do you want them to go through? And you can go through that process. But again, you can get a 13-day free trial, a 30-day free trial for the ads. And then if you wanted the premium features or the upgrade, you get to do that at a 14-day free trial, and you can bundle it by just doing the upgrade package, and you unlock all those additional features that are in the platform. Now, of course, you have other things on the left side panel that you can take advantage of. This is where you can upload those photos and videos, your inbox, any of your billing, of course, for things that you're paying for. Once you get reviews, this is where you can take a look at those and respond. For those, this is where you can edit your business information here. So again, you see what your profile looks like. You can add photos, change your categories or add subcategories, some other amenities, your hours that you can go and put in there, what are your specialties? So come in here and, add some more information. Again, what year was your, that you licensed, that you started, um, you know, got your license, and then your history, right? You can add in some more information about yourself in there. Maybe you're talking about how you got to your market. Are you native to your market, or did you relocate there? Why did you relocate there? What do you love about it, right? Giving them some a little bit more information on that. And then you can also add an intro in addition to that description that you can add in there. And then, of course, if you wanted that verified license, you can add it on this screen as well. Real quick, I'm gonna look at the questions. Yes, Dia asked, can a reviewer add a photo? That is another unique thing. I mean, you could do it on Google as well, but folks can leave photos as well on there. So if they want to upload photos, maybe it's them in the house or maybe them at the closing table at escrow or wherever it may be, they can add their own photos. That's how it's huge for restaurants, right? People are going on and taking photos of their food and leaving those on there. But know that consumers can also come on here and leave their media on there as well. Amy, piggyback the photo thing, how much control do I have for pictures placed by users? Well, if you have the premium, you get uh, to choose what photos are going to show in your heading here, right? Your banner image. If you don't have the premium, it's going to show based on Yelp's algorithm and what it wants to show the consumers. So it may be, random photos, Amy, in there. So unless you have the premium, unless you pay to have that slideshow feature where you can go and choose what photos you want to show up here in the top. Yeah, so for Google, your Google Photos, you get to choose a cover photo on Google, which will be that prominent photo that's shown. But anybody can Google or add photos to that as well, especially if they're leaving reviews. Folks can leave their own photos on there. So maybe if it's super random, if you don't know the person on there, you can petition or appeal to have it removed. Otherwise, I would definitely make sure you have your cover photo. So that is the first photo that shows up when someone looks at your profile. Otherwise, yes, they're going to be able to see any of the other buyers or sellers that have uploaded their own photos to it as well. So at least on Google, you get to choose a prominent photo, that cover photo. On here, you have to pay to show what photos on there. So again, it's about, it showed $6 a day to have all of it on there for the premium version of Yelp business profile. Again, 6 times 3, you're at what, $180 a month? Not super inexpensive, but also not crazy expensive with the additional features and some of the stuff that allows you to stand out from some of the other agents that are showing up in these searches as well. So, for instance, I wanted to come back up and see. This one did not show verified. So I wonder if this one's not. It does show claimed. Yeah, they're paying for something. So if you see an actual logo here, they're definitely paying for an up, yeah, in these here. So it looks like a lot of people are taking advantage of the premium profile features that are in Yelp as well. So again, just to wrap up here, guys, Yelp is a great place to have a profile. There is a free version and a paid version. You get some of the upgrades in there. It's another chance to meet potential prospects and clients, and at the very least, it's another opportunity for you to leverage the SEO and show up in the rankings. So, take advantage of it. I do think that there's a lot of value in the premium or upgraded features. It's just unfortunate that they don't have like a lower, $49 a month or $39 a month, and you get it all, and it's more based on that $6 a day quote that we had saw or seen earlier on there. So highly recommend at least, signing up for the free version so you can at least show up there. A lot of folks, especially local people, are going on there looking for, listing agents or real estate agents near me. Very, very localized based. So is your Google business profile, but the search intent is just slightly different for those. So again, I would highly recommend you go in and take a look at it and set up your own profile, at least the free version, so you have the additional SEO for your business. And then you can decide if it's worth the money or part of your marketing budget to pay for some of those premium features on there. You can send your profile link to folks that you work with or close deals with to leave a review. And more times than not, it's going to show, but just know that Yelp is very much more um, uh, intended. There's much more intent behind the reviews and recommendations that they're going to show. You don't have the ultimate control on, all the reviews are going to be showing. They kind of, moderate what that looks like on their end. So any questions, guys? Hopefully today you got a little bit more insight on Yelp, the differences between some of the other profiles, the premium features. The setup process is fairly easy going through. Again, it's not going to ask you for a video or anything like that on there. It just takes a little bit longer because somebody is manually going in and approving this and reviewing it to make sure that it's appropriate and it's going to get approved. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Always happy to help. And we will see you guys in the next training. We got the schedule coming out later this week for March. Again, they are going to be on Wednesdays, so we definitely know that in the same time. So Wednesdays at 1 o'clock if you are PST, 2 o'clock if you're in Arizona. But we will see you guys in the next training. Have a great week, everyone, and cheers to your next deal. Hopefully we see
Thank
you
you,
guys in Escrow
Justin.
very soon. Thank you.